All right, our next speaker is Chris Dugan. Please state your name and your address for the record.
Good afternoon. Chris Duggan with the California Restaurant Association, 533 Mission Center Road, San Diego, California. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appreciate you for the opportunity to speak here. Again, like I said, I'm with the California Restaurant Association. We represent over 22,000 member restaurants. We are the second industry in creating jobs in California. Want to come out here and speak to this item. I want to first thank staff for their preliminary staff report on this. I think this information is critical in moving forward on any policy changes or amendments to the ordinance. I'm here just to speak to conditions number 2 and number 3 as those would be changes. I think number 1 is the status quo. So I will tailor all those comments to 2 and 3. If we are to move forward today and looking closer at items 2 and 3, the CRA believes that there's 4 critical areas we need to look into. A lot of them have been talked about. I'll go over them. And we really need to ask the critical questions. Those include enforcement. If you are to move forward and ask the cities to take on this responsibility to monitor and regulate them, do they have the capacity? Do they have the resources to do that? I think a few of the items we saw in the presentation refer to traffic regulations and parking. So long as those are all vetted, we are comfortable with that. Number 2 is the fee structure, as it was noted in the presentation as well. We would, brick and mortars, which we represent both brick and mortars and we do mobile food trucks. We would want to have some form of comparative analysis on a fee structure looking at brick and mortar versus mobile food trucks. As you know, and it was heard by a few members in the audience, that brick and mortars do have anywhere over 50 fees that are associated with them, sewer fees, utility fees, and so on. So we'd ask the staff to look into that. 3, it's very important, is the health and safety issues. Again, we saw a critical display of critical violations between the restaurants that are brick and mortar to food trucks, 100% in those critical violations. I think it's important we address that. How can you ensure that you bring those food trucks down to 0.42? I think that would be a great goal to have. And then last but not least, it's capital investment, and really the brick and mortars over the years have spent money to update the neighborhoods to make sure that the customers can come out and really enjoy their time. We'd actually love to look into the sales tax capture rate, how that can satisfy the region, so they make sure those sales tax dollars come back to the region, because it's important for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Duggan. Next speaker, my last speaker, is